3 tips for using Zoom professionally, or Microsoft Teams if you use that. Hello, I'm Judith Wilson, and I want to give you 3 key tips that the professionals use to make their Zoom presentations or training really effective, and you can too. Tip number 1, watch your background. Ideally, you want to be able to touch it. Why? Because then it means you've got control. People aren't going to be walking behind you, doors opening, people coming in. You lose control that way. Whereas if you can touch it, you know that nothing is going to happen directly behind you. I have a terrible story right at the beginning of COVID. In our first lockdown, I started delivering the training, and this poor lady had her entire living room, dining room, all available behind her because she was using her kitchen table. And 20 minutes into the training, her partner walked in, walked to the linen drying on a rack, took off a pair of pants, took his pants off and put the clean pair on while we all watched in horror. And this poor lady had no idea that it was happening behind her. So use a real background if you want to. You can use a blurred background or a fake background. If branding is appropriate, I would recommend you use branding in the background that you have as well if you're going to blur it or have a template. Okay, so number 1 is your background. Number 2, watch the color shirt or top that you wear. It needs to pop against your background. If your background is a white or cream wall, you don't want to be in a white or cream shirt because you're going to blur into it and look like a talking head with all of the color blurring in. So I tend to like to have a color that pops. This is a really bright cerise pink, of course, but you can do a royal blue, or you can do something in contrast to whatever your background is. So think about where you're going to be doing the Zoom from, what your background's like, and then dress appropriately for that. Okay. And number 3, drum roll, please. Think about the angle of your camera. Really important that your camera is high, looking down to you, not you looking down upon a camera. The amount of times I see a person with the camera really low and you can see straight up their nostrils, and none of us can do with 3 chins that it's going to give you if your camera is too low. So you want to make sure that your camera's high. If you're on a laptop or something, you can prop it up on a laptop stand or even a couple of books, or have an external camera on a stand behind so that it's higher looking down. You're going to get a much more flattering look. Okay, so those are 3 tips to keep in mind for Zooms or Team the next time you present. To your success, I'm Judith Wilson. Bye.